viable option for them. Of course, T1 also going to go for Mill to Power because since Morph is not here for the past 2 days, they've been taking that location time and time again. We'll have to see once again if this phase 1 circle, as you mentioned, Imperium is going to complement it, but interested to see where it might indeed pop up.
What I'm also finding interesting, although it does make sense, is that you level up instead of going for Primorsk because of the plane path to the east, they're actually going for Severny. But look at that, phase 1 circle, it is to the northwest. It's not too bad, but definitely is going to create a couple of hard rotations for the teams down in the southeast like T1, BTR and Synergy.
I'm sure Team Mindy are really happy with this one. Like, hey, look at that, easy rotation on the western bridge. It should be easy, unless there's going to be a team that's going to try and screw it their way over on that bridge location. But no, Imperium normally was to go. Oh wait, actually no, we've got a fight breaking out early on. That's going to be Gil, one of the top fraggers and damage dealers in the lobby, instantly taken out of the game. And that is an unfortunate event for Orange Rock, a team that you mentioned that has to get some good results today.
Yeah, but they're landing in a location that is a little bit unusual for them, right? It's not like they can't make it to Watertown. I understand, but they've also got to be aware of where the likes of Team Secret land. And 4 members coming in onto Mavi, the IGL. It's going to be incredibly hard. He's got a scar. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah, we'll have to see if it's going to be enough to take a 1v4. I don't think he has enough bullets to take them all, and they are even able to take 1 member down. There you go. That's 2 members of Orange Rock instantly eliminated in the start of this game. But I mean, coming out from Team Secret, seen the positive side of this fight, right? If we were on the first week, right, we would not have seen Team Secret play as synergistically as we just saw right now. I think that we got to respect the amount of work they put for the recent past 2 weeks.
Yeah, and also, and in fairness to Orange Rock, Team Secret don't normally land there, right? They normally land, you know, basically past Pachinki. So, you know, credit to Orange Rock is just one of those things where you can get called out. It's life, I suppose, from that point of view. Not to sound too philosophical.
I mean, it is definitely true. They tried the different drop-in location, and Super Weekend did really not go in their favor.
We're like Frank Sinatra, that's life. That's what all the people say is Orange Rock clap back.
Hey, they clap back pretty strong. Nice kill for them onto Team Secret. Rex is going to be a little bit caught out in the open. Have they caught up any utility in the compound nearby? I'm pretty sure they do have a bunch available to allow potentially that one player of Rex to move back to the rest of their team. But Viru, once again, playing on the rooftops is good on the early stage because you're pretty sure that, especially on this area next to school apartment, there's not many teams that are going to try and take shots on that location because they're not really big points of pressure early on. They also have loot in the early stage for you to really pressure down the compound of Orange Rock.
The only thing is, of course, I fear for the fact that Viru doesn't have a vest. He does have level 1 helmet, and when being on the roof, in theory, having a helmet is better than vest. But of course, it's still not going to be easy. Scout with level 2 vest and helmet, that should help him at least. But he's using a third-person perspective. I do respect the fact that Orange Rock didn't look to fully disengage, even though I kind of would like to have seen them do that overall. I gotta respect them because it kind of shows me that they are ready to put up a huge fight.
I mean, I also think it's just they can't move away right now. If they try and move out, I think that Team Secret will have somewhat of wind of information about this team moving away, especially where Mad Toy's localized. He has information on the entire compound.
Fair.
Almost. If he sees a move, they're going to go in the compound, they're going to go for the backstab because Orange Rock, if they want to leave this area without a car, is going uphill towards Pachinki, making things a little bit risky for them. But here it is, Team Secret going for the push. That's a weird push. What is going on from Rex? And iShots is almost doing the same. That you don't push in the open like that.
Especially when iShots knew exactly where Vera was, right? That was definitely poor communication. There's another player's knocked. Grenade being cooked up by Viru. Actually, no, it's a smoke. Okay, that's weird. Oh, because he's trying to confirm the kill without getting killed himself. It's not much, but I actually really like that intelligent play from Viru.
It's not much, but it's honest work. You know what? They should have put that smoke way earlier. If they wanted to push like that, should have put even a few more.
I don't know much, but no, I love you. Okay.
Was that meant for me?
It was towards you.
It was for me. Thank you, Imperium. I appreciate that. But Scout's got a nice little position, actually. I like that. Making 2 points of pressure. 90 in the compound right now. Gets another nice knockdown onto iShots. I mean, Team Secret, they're just crumbling into pieces and really struggling to find any position and anchor to really engage this. Like, this is just not worthwhile. Putting himself with 2 members in the open. Of course, Viru, he's going to go for the push because he knows now that they have not the man disadvantage anymore. They can take this fight versus Team 3, create like even Stevens.
And it just touches upon what I wanted to see from Orange Rock and what I was saying about them, that, you know, I want to see them kind of pop off a little bit more. I want to see them, you know, really show and sparkle in this last day of Super Weekend number 2. Of course, make no mistakes about it. Team Secret made mistakes there, right? There's no reason for Rex to run out in the open. iShots got caught out, etc., etc. But at the end of the day, Orange Rock, the resilience, I love to see it.
You bite the orange and the orange bites back. It will come and get you Imperium eventually. And this time Mad Toy's just going to stay in his watchtower and avoiding any kind of detection.
Do you like orange juice with bits or without bits?
I like both, actually. You know what? I actually like my orange juice with toothpaste. Just mix it all up. Ah, it's so tasty, man. Oh my god, I'm cringing just saying that. Oh my god, it's disgusting. Oh.
I was going to say I like it with rocks. Orange rock.
Get out of here.
Okay, anyway. I won't quit my day job. This phase 1 circle was incredibly good for you level up. We see Synergy rotating on the north as well, relatively early, which I absolutely love to see. But most of the teams are actually heading towards Roshawk area, which does create a lot more space for the likes of BTR to wrap in past Farm and come in on the south side of Pachinki. And one thing, even though they don't have a lot of pressure, I am a little bit surprised that Team I&D are slow to rotate out of Military Island.
Yeah, I think that they would have lootated. It's a mix of loot and rotated. You know, you lootate Imperium. Really fun stuff. We'll add it to the dictionary. But, you know, I do definitely agree with your point right there. I think they could have rotated a little bit earlier, but there's so much room. I think it can easily make up for that little bit of late rotation from them. It's fine. It's okay.
It's more in the perspective of they don't necessarily know, and sometimes I feel like they got to prepare a little bit better and just rotate a little bit quicker. But it is what it is. They should be okay. Megastar is heading for that bridge push. And, you know, one thing that I've been thinking about, and a question I want to put to you, Max, do you think because a good few of these teams, especially the likes of BTR and RQ, they've already settled themselves up as being some of the best teams, coming into the end of the Super Weekend, do you think they're basically stepping back a bit and trying a couple of things, testing a couple of, as in not revealing all of their secrets, so to speak?
I mean, I do definitely feel like they are feeling a lot more confident. So because they're feeling confident and they know that they're going to that big finals at the end of the PMWL, I think they are going to try a few different things, maybe have different approaches, and they also do not have that pressure, which I think that a lot of teams in this lobby deal really well under pressure. So that's something that they don't have anymore. So we'll have to wait and see, because like right now, a 4-man car rotation, if you were hoping to get yourself in a really good position, I don't think you would be seeing this.
Yeah, no, and that's pretty fair. I don't think he could have asked for a better shot to sum up your point. But now Synergy, they're going to have T1 clashing close by. Now, T1 are a team that we were talking about before the broadcast. A fantastic job done. They've really performed. Average points per game in this Super Weekend 2 have been 8.4. Really well done. But the lack of aggression has kind of hurt them in the overall standings.
Two Hindi teams going to be facing up against each other. That's TSM Entity and Galaxy Racer Celts. And Galaxy Racer Celts, they do not have the upper hand in this one. 2 members get knocked away, and that's TSM Entity. They are going aggressively, sending their first, followed up with Jonathan. I like to see this. They are taking this fight in their very own hands. They see Ultron go for the flash. Nicely done. They're going to be normally picking up 2 kills in this fight versus Galaxy Racer Celts, which, I like to see them being proactive like that.
Yeah, and when you kind of think about it, I feel like that's a little bit of a poor rotation from Galaxy Racer Celts. I get the idea of them shifting up east, but when you look at Synergy, they got past TSM fine because they did it a little bit earlier. Whereas when you leave it a bit later, TSM aren't the team to go for the center circle, right? They have no problem rotating a little bit later and playing towards the edge. So they had no risks. So they benefited from Galaxy Racer Celts.
Vox Gaming, interesting rotation right up on the western side of Yasnai Polyana. There are 2 teams there right now. You've got Galaxy Racer Celts and you've got TSM Entity. They're very spread. They're going towards the aerial stall, but they're very split. So potentially a few players might go down on their side if TSM can connect them shots. Hit 1 bullet was 11 damage onto break at a distance, but Loki is going to be just completely cut off from the rest of his team, so he'll have to rethink how he wants to play this one. He's still got a car, but TSM now know that potential players could come through this way. There should be a little bit more alert.
Yeah, definitely some weird rotations, but even BTR seem to be heading in that direction. So we'll see if a little bit of a third party onto a third party comes through. There is still the 2 remaining members of Galaxy Racer Celts hanging around there, but this 1v1 between Box and Jonathan as Break gets broken down by the legend himself.
Jonathan Bolte right there picks up the fight. He's the man of the 1v1s. Take the 1v1 versus Scout, gets the kill, gets another 1v1 here, gets it once again. I mean, definitely he is known as one of the the best fraggers in the world in PUBG Mobile, and he's definitely proving himself over the course of this second Super Weekend.
Well, you know, it's been clear that they were suffering from the issues, and then of course, huge credit to the guys of 8-Bit Soul that came in and said, "Hey, look, you're welcome to use our boot camp, stronger connection, happy days," and we know how much that connection loss can really suffer the focus of a player.
Yeah, so Big Pog basically out there for 8-Bit and also to Soul, helping out the boys. You love to see it, but now the upper ground for Synergy is going to be going in their favor. Got a little bit of early damage down onto concept of King of Gamers. King of Gamers that have yet to get chicken dinner, but still standing strong in 5th position. That is a huge stonker of a performance so far in these Super Weekends. They've got to rethink I want to take this one. They do have a little bit of a dip that makes it a little bit of a better hiding spot overall for King of Gamers. But overall, they are seeming safe right now. They will easily be able to heal up their wounds, and Synergy will not fully commit to this one. I mean, they could, but I would feel that to be a little bit weird.
Yeah, King of Gamers, 115 points in 8 games. That's a huge average compared to a lot of these teams in the lobby, and they've really stacked it up on 22 points, 21 points, 21 points, 16 points, and they've even had some solid point scoring games on games that they haven't really done the best on. So, you know, definitely a team that are evolving and growing and really adapting to the rest of the teams around them.
I'm seeing some fights popping out, especially in that was Yasnai Poliano, where a member of Megastars got naded up by Pmwl. So interesting stuff over there. I mean, a lot of teams rotating right next to Yasnai. You had Box doing that, you had Megastars doing that, and no, Megastars, unfortunately, they're going to be losing one of their players. I'm surprised to see teams rotate around there. I don't know what you think about it, but like rotating next to a compound, do you know that teams drop there on a regular basis? I find that really risky, and like a risk that should not be taken so early on.
It was always going to be a little bit tricky.
Oh, that's an circle.
Talking about tricky, that circle shift was very tricky. Now, it is going to be quite easy for Team I&D because they have plenty of space, but RQ could stop them in their tracks, but there's that little bit of a compound. At the end of the day, for King of Gamers, Synergy, you level up Valdez, TSM, Box, and all the teams basically in the Southeast is going to be very, very hard. And also because it's in the water, there's less land available.
Ryzen of Bigatron going to be pushing forward onto this area held so far by Freestyle as a replay plays off onto our screen, but that's okay. That was a replay when Pmwl did get a little bit of an engagement. Then you got the nade kill confirmed onto Pmwl. That was greatly done. But Freestyle going to be healing up their wounds. They got a knock on their side. They'll have to keep that in mind. But how you see the Bigatron, they got multiple angles under control. They want to engage on this gas station, and those grenades to get the initial knockdown would be huge to allow Bigatron to just easily breach it and get rid of the entirety of Freestyle.
We also have a little bit of engagement between RQ and Reject. Initial knock, we see how it comes through. But look at the grenade by Microboy inside the vehicle, into the building. In amongst the smokes as the members of Freestyle are just trying to hold on.
They're not even engaging that fight. It's just a fight of grenades. That was so clean. You saw also what Ryzen was doing. Got into the car, got a little bit more height, could easily chuck it over into the gas station. They didn't. Did they even shoot bullets in this fight? I think it was just grenades.
I think the initial knockdown, but then after it was just BTR using the utility as they do. Talk about utility. Valdez looking to get onto Synergy.
They're going to try and get on top of them indeed. Valdez got to be careful. There's a lot of teams around them. We've got TSM Entity. Synergy, I like it. The fact Survey just leaving the scene entirely. He scouted and played passive as a scout should do. I like to see that coming out from them. But Synergy going for the underground section. I talked about this multiple times, Imperium. When you're underground, you're safe. But when you have to rotate away, teams know exactly where you're going to come out from. It's really hard to peek from the underground sections.
Totally agree with you. As Synergy, hang on to the overview. They do get a player knocked. The hands of Survey by T1. T1 looking to maybe be a little bit more aggressive like I talked about. Teams on the east are heading towards Severny. We currently have Megastars, I believe Box Gaming, and then even Galaxy Racer Celts heading towards there. So 3 teams on the eastern edge of the circle as you level up. Sit very pretty on the southern tip of this circle.
Even King of Gamers, like high up north on the coastal line, no teams are going to really pose a big threat to them. I even think they're like below, like next to sea level right now, where no team can really scout them too easily unless they get really, really close. It's an original approach, but it really does require the circle to get in your favor multiple times in a row. But here it is, the push onto shooting range is going to be coming on through T1. You mentioned you want to see them come aggressive. I even mentioned that a lot in the past. You need to get them frags. If they do so, they can climb extremely high in the standings, get a nice knockdown onto Schreider, but there's just no opportunity as of yet to get those kills confirmed.
Then look on the field, Galaxy Racer Celts getting a kill onto a member of BTR. Galaxy Racer Celts only have 2 members up, but don't really take up a little bit of a fight. Confirmation comes through onto Survey, putting Synergy down to 2 players. You see that spread as ZZP and Youngjun hold onto that angle. Although they got to be aware with the circle shifting once again up and towards the north, which benefit Kings Gamers. You could have you level up and even Orange Rock come in behind, so be careful about that T1.
Yeah, you don't want to get get caught out in the open. If you still got them cars, they could be extremely useful. But the fact is now, Ted almost has no impact in this fight. You have to use the smoke, but he can't peek out because they know exactly how he's going to fight Imperium.
Do you think T1 should just full send it and push as a full squad?
I think that they got already one knockdown. They got one kill confirmed. It's a 4v2. I would go for the push personally. Hey, now they go third. Now you have no reason to not go for the engagement. Zigsaw is left alone. He's in that shack. You can get close enough and just chuck a grenade. It could be an easy frag on them. They need to go for the frag right now because, as you said, they could get caught out in the open by you level up, by Valdez. There's a lot of teams around them.
You're so dead right now. They do look to cook up the grenades, but time's ticking by, right? The longer you leave it to close that engagement, the longer you're leaving it to get information on the other teams, the higher chance they're going to get third-partied. But T1 definitely 3 kills so far in this game, looking pretty strong.
You know what? Now that they confirmed 3 kills, is it really worth taking a fight in the open once again just for 1 extra kill? Maybe it would be worth it actually for them to leave it. Because now you don't have to confirm them 100%. There's like 2 options. You want to go aggressive for 1 extra kill or aim for better position in the circle. We'll have to see what T1 want to commit to. As back over to the circle, teams are moving in. Bigatron and Megastars will be clashing up against each other. That'll be Megastars. And 1 member knocked away. 1 member died earlier, and he has now Pollyanna. And the blue zone is taking quicker and quicker. They've got to get himself in circle right now as BTR get eliminated in 13th position.
Yeah, definitely a couple of teams being punished coming in from the east as they did clash together. Megastars proving that proving that they are dangerous in the right situation. Of course, Encore is going to get knocked. Vexy is going to be taken out on his own. That is going to be Valdez punishing Megastars, and they get a couple of kills. 3 so far for Valdez. And you pointed out, TSM Entity in a very strong position on the eastern side of the circle.
TSM Entity, they've been being more and more confident, and that means they've been taking more confident positions. Positions that apply pressure on teams trying to rotate in the circle. You love to see it. We saw it yesterday on Miramar. We've seen it once again on the first game of the day. And they still got a full squad too, which is going to be huge for them on the long run. Interested to see how it will be unfolding for them. But Valdez, they are in circle, they got the high ground, but the chance of the circle going in their favor once again is very slim, so they've got to try and look forward to an extra position later on in the game.
And even though we have a little bit of water occupied in the circle, because we have lost a number of players and teams, we're down to 34 players. In theory, that does create a little bit nicer level of land mass available for these remaining teams and players. But nice DP28 spray coming out from Jonathan.
I don't know how they do it. I just can't spray with a DP.
I know, right?
I think like only pro teams
Actually,
use a DP.
I like it.
You like it?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I like it too, but I just can't use it. I'm too bad in Imperium. I'm so sad. But it's good to see some competitive esports action here where you can see them use the weapons properly, unlike us, which is cool to see. But ZZP, as I said, right, I mentioned, and you mentioned it too, Imperium, right? They're in the open. A lot of teams have an angle on them, and one specifically, that's Valdez. They got the high ground. They can just peek easily over the road. T1 got to try and rethink and reposition right here, right now.
And also, even then, when you look on the other side of T1, you have you level up. T1 have allowed you level up to come in around them as well to the west. So even though T1 are far from looking in a poor position, I definitely think they maybe didn't think too much about the next couple of circles. Either way, we are getting into the next phase as it looks to shift its way up. Will it stay towards the water, or will it once again head towards the land?
It goes towards the land. That means King of Gamers, they're going to have to push a little bit away from their point of interest up north. But RQ, Athena, and Orange Rock, 2 teams that got themselves really good positions, especially Orange Rock. They lost 2 members earlier up against Team Secret. That 2-member advantage, they're going to have to make the most out of it because it will be hard to go against squads that still have 4 members. That's going to be extremely a lot of pressure on Orange Rock.
Love the instant response from Valdez. Really strong as a full squad, sending it into the circle from the east. It is out in the open, but when you do it early and you stick to the edge, you can definitely get information and react to that. That's exactly what they're doing. Look to engage onto the members of T1.
Yep. T1, they haven't rotated fast enough. They like indecision. They didn't know if they wanted to engage for finish to fight versus synergy. They didn't know if they wanted to rotate in circle, and now they're just indecisive, and they gain pressure because of that. Making a decision, even if it's a bad one, it's always better than making no decisions, Imperium.
And TSM Entity, a team that did a similar reaction to Valdez, but they're getting a little bit punished by Valdez. That's because Valdez got in there first, so they're able to see that rotation. They were able to take down that member of TSM.
Seeing also a little bit of a party down here was Galaxy Racer Celts. Is going to be engaged by Team IND. A grenade comes out. Not even sure. That was MJ's grenade right there. Nicely done, and they do get the knock on to that 1 player of Team IND. That'll be an extra kill going over to Galaxy Racer Celts.
Yeah, Team IND yet to really find their feet. Now they're down to 2 players, just 420 OP, full sending it in with Stayer. That's a very crazy rotation, but it's kind of working out for now, as the two members of Galaxy Race themselves will have to make their way in. Arndrock trying to hold on in towards the circle. Smoke grenades being thrown out as Velmoth gets a knockdown onto T1.
I mean, here it is. That's what we were talking about for the past few minutes. Imperium is coming together. Back on over to Team IND. Another fight. Where's Galaxy Race Celtics getting absolutely destroyed in that fight. Now we're down to 9 teams. Imperium going into this Erangel game. It's really intriguing. And once again, this is the final day of this Super Weekend. These teams need to get some good results right now.
Yeah, RQ still up as a full squad. Kept themselves relatively quiet on the west. Allowed all the teams on the east to really take each other out. Grenades are being flying out. You level up under a lot of pressure. 420 OP. Look to throw up another smoke grenade. Actually, no, that was just a grenade. Okay, that's a little bit interesting. Maybe it's a pre-grenade.
Yeah, just in case maybe someone is pushing him. But he is the last member standing so far for Team IND. He has to do his really best he can. A little bit of smoke coming out there. Going to be stopping teams from trying to know when he's going to be forcing out. And he's going to go for a little bit of a grenade right there. Can he get the long throw onto you level up and get that lucky nade? If he could, that could allow his rotation a lot easier to get in center circle because he potentially still has to cross over the road, which is going to make things even more stressful for Team IND.
Talking about stressful and crossing the road, we talked about it. We called it. T1 now under pressure, being put down to one player at the hands of Valdez because they took too long. TSM in the open, they lost Jonathan, but Jonathan had done a great amount of work up until then as the next circle does shift down south. A little bit centralized. Valdez once again responding. Arndrock gifted another circle position for now as TSM empty. Hold on to north edge.
I talked about it, right? King of Gamers, that northern side is intelligent for the early stage, but it's going to be very hard to move away from it. The circle goes back inland, which is exactly what it's doing right now in Imperium. They have to move away from their primary location, and now they even have to go over a road with teams that have high ground, like RQ, Athena, and also Valdez, the Murder. So things are going to be very stressful. I don't think King of Gamers can make it out alive from this game as T1 get eliminated. We called it. Indecision is never a good thing.
There's still one remaining player Box Gaming, and who is it? It's Pmwl. Pmwl is a man that has definitely it really helped send Box Gaming to obscene levels at times, and he's really showing up when it's counted. Can he do it again?
I mean, I'm definitely intrigued to see what he can do because Pmwl has been one of those, stellar players going into PMWL. Nice break coming out from Martin, able to get himself a little bit of initial damage down to Z-God. But GSM Entity, not the best position to really take a fight versus Valdez the Murder. They got the high ground for the time being, but they got to also potentially think about rotating in, especially Valdez. They got one player which is armed in a little bit more forward. They got to force send the entire squad in circle right now because no one's really taking control. The first team to do that could have huge potential in this game.
That's fair, but it's also the kind of circle where it's hard to really take control because you got to play around the edge because it's in the open and use that little bit of elevated high ground like Valdez have to in some way try to get the shots off. But the second you over peak, you are going to get your head blown off.
At least control on the edge, which is what Valdez are doing. Now they've rotated in a really nice, efficient way. They got control of the eastern section of the circle right now. So I do like how they are doing this game so far. As RQ Athena now pushing on forward, still has a full squad. And you know what? When you see RQ Athena in the late game stage, you know it's very scary for the squads around them.
We've seen what they can do as a one-man team in the late stages of the game. Never mind as a full squad, as a grenade being cooked up by Ernie. They know where Orange Rock are. Of course, that little bit of a will at least protect the members of Orange Rock as grenades being thrown up by Viru. Try to push back the members of RQ because at least Orange Rock are inside the circle.
Yeah, G9 pushed the car forward. Nicely done, but they get Ernie. That's actually going to be a nearly interesting fight. 420 of Team IND is going to get a little bit of a third party, but at the end, he will get eliminated swiftly. 5 teams still remaining into this one. And now all the teams are currently in the circle, but I like how G9 pushed forward, putting a car next to a rock. That's a great little bit of defense, but the other players of RQ getting absolutely battered right here.
Because they left it maybe a little bit too late to go into circle, they didn't get that much information, and when they did move in, they got shot from multiple angles that they weren't really prepared for.
Yeah, that's why you want to try and cover a little bit more land, just like Valdez are doing right now. That makes it that you can't easily get flushed as an entire squad just by 1 or 2 players getting some nice extra sprays. But Pmwl not getting scouted out, and Pmwl goes for the spray onto Martin of Valdez the Murder, instantly going to be flushing out the kills because he knows he might not stay alive for very long. He might not go into the very, very late stage. He will not be able to pull off a Jonathan maybe into this. He gets scattered out, trying to run into the smoke, but will be way too late. Godard will put an ending to the killing spree of Pmwl and eliminate Box Gaming in 5th position.
Not only did he get a kill, but he also somewhat helped TSM because Valdez had the better of TSM up until that point. But we did see the next circle centering up. The only team that is somewhat inside it is Orange Rock. But of course, the second they move out of that little hut, they are going to be spotted out by at least G9 of RQ. Valus, they are the furthest away from the circle, but they do have 3 members up.
Yeah, TSM, they need to push on forward right here and right now. As Valdez, they're going to be one of the first teams responding. They're going to be crashing on top of Orange Rock into the shack, but Orange Rock, they're not going to peek out. Grenades could make things so much easier. As I say that, Velmoth is going to be chucking one out, forcing Orange Rock away from that shack. Easy spray from Velmoth, taking up that 1v2. Greatly done, eliminating the squad of Orange Rock in 4th position. 3 teams still in play. TSM Entity, Valdez the Murder, and also G9, the top frag of this lobby, is still in play.
And even though TSM Entity had a great reaction to the members of Valdez moving in, they didn't count for the man, the myth, the legend, G9 spraying his way through the smokes to punish TSM. So that's really nice information as it's going to leave Neoless standing. As we did see Clutch God go out. It's going to be the end of TSM Entity.
G9, the legend, back at it again. He's getting himself 3 extra frags on top of that one. But Valdez the Murder, up to their best kill count game so far, was 15 frags, and they're looking for a 16th. Still, they're going to be full sending it on top of G9. He's the top frag of the lobby so far. Can he take the 1v4? We'll have to wait and see. It's going to be actually 1v3 as Martin was taken down early by Pmwl. Gela's going to be on the right side. He's going to get...